Let's start it with our first news. Team Habib's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, recently went off on Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria, giving one of the most revealing interviews in weeks on Submission Radio. He discussed the current UFC lightweight title picture and made it clear that Justin Gaethje deserves the next title shot against Islam Makhachev, not Paddy or anyone else. According to Ali, all signs initially pointed to Gaethje facing Topuria for the belt, but then rumors began circulating about Paddy Pimblett possibly getting the opportunity. That's when Ali decided to speak out, expressing his frustration with how things are being handled inside the UFC. He didn't hold back, declaring that Gaethje will retire if he's skipped over for the next title fight. Justin Gaethje never breaks his word, Ali said. If he gets jumped by Paddy, he will retire and never fight again in the UFC. Ali emphasized that the UFC is a business but questioned the logic behind Pimblett's rapid rise, pointing out that Paddy's last 3 opponents have a combined record of 0-3. How can he be ranked ahead of Justin Gaethje? Ali asked. The only guy who deserves a title shot over Justin is Arman Tsarukyan, and I'd accept that, but anyone else getting it would be completely unfair. He continued by commenting on other divisions and fights. Ali revealed that Magomed Ankalaev didn't spar for 40 days before his UFC 320 rematch with Alex Pereira due to a rib injury, though fans didn't take it too seriously since Pereira himself was injured in their first fight. Ali also discussed Arman Tsarukyan's upcoming fight with Dan Hooker, making a bold prediction that Arman will dominate. I think Arman is going to beat the life out of Dan Hooker, he said. Nothing personal, but Arman is on a completely different level right now. Finally, Ali made it clear that Islam Makhachev doesn't cherry-pick opponents. Islam will fight anybody, he stated confidently. He doesn't care who's in front of him. He's built different. In short, Ali Abdelaziz's explosive remarks not only shook up the lightweight division narrative but also reignited debates about merit-based title shots in the UFC. His loyalty to Gaethje and belief in fighters like Tsarukyan and Makhachev showed just how passionately Team Habib's camp defends their place in the sport. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Huge news has surfaced regarding Khamzat Chimaev's next fight, and fans have every reason to be excited. During the recent ACA event in the USA, Khamzat was spotted cageside supporting his teammates, Guram Kutataladze, who made a successful post-UFC return with a stunning TKO victory, and Abdul Rahman Dudaev, whose fight ended in a controversial split decision win. Cameras caught Chimaev looking visibly frustrated when the judges' scorecards were read, clearly unhappy with the result. Following the event, several reporters tried to catch a quick interview with Chimaev, but he declined, maintaining his ongoing boycott against a particular media outlet, something he's been vocal about in the past. Instead, journalists managed to speak with Alanbek Badr, one of Khamzat's closest friends and training partners, who ended up revealing crucial information about what's next for Boers. Alanbek explained that Khamzat initially wanted to fight before Ramadan, which begins in February and ends in March, to stay active after his last fight against Dricus du Plessis back in August. However, those plans had to change due to scheduling and recovery issues. According to Alanbek, Khamzat is now targeting a spring 2025 return, likely around April or May, with a massive opponent being discussed behind the scenes. Although no official name has been confirmed yet, Alanbek hinted that the fight could have title implications, depending on how the UFC's middleweight division plays out over the next few months. He also mentioned that Khamzat has been training harder than ever, sharpening both his wrestling and striking to ensure he's fully ready for whoever steps across the octagon from him next. Chimaev's dedication to staying active and competitive even during training breaks shows his relentless mindset. Despite controversies and long gaps between fights, his hunger for dominance hasn't faded. Whether it's a top 5 contender or a title eliminator, Khamzat's next appearance promises fireworks, and the entire MMA world will be watching closely. In summary, Khamzat Chimaev's next fight is expected to happen right after Ramadan 2025, with training camp preparations already underway. His team remains tight-lipped on the opponent, but the tone suggests a high-stakes showdown that could define the next chapter of his career. Move on to another news. Paddy Pimblett has fired back at Ilia Topuria with a fiery warning, declaring that he'll smash his face in and prove that El Matador isn't untouchable. In a recent interview, Pimblett made it clear that he's tired of seeing Topuria being treated like a superstar before earning it. Confident and outspoken spoken as always. Paddy said he can beat Ilia anywhere the fight goes, on the feet or on the ground, and that the hype around the Spanish-Georgian contender is about to come crashing down. Pimblett's comments quickly made waves across the MMA world, sparking reactions from both fans and fighters. Max Holloway even weighed in, cautioning people not to underestimate Paddy. Holloway reminded everyone that while experience plays a major role in this sport, MMA is unpredictable, and expectations get eaten for breakfast. His words added an interesting twist to the growing rivalry between the two rising stars. Meanwhile, the conversation around the lightweight division has become even more chaotic. Demetrius Johnson recently blasted the UFC for overlooking Arman Tsarukyan in the title picture, calling it reality TV level nonsense. Johnson argued that Tsarukyan is the rightful #1 contender and deserves the next title shot instead of the promotional favorites. Arman is scheduled to face Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar later this month, a bout many believe will determine the division's next top challenger. As for Ilia Topuria, he's currently focused on helping his brother Alexander Topuria prepare for his upcoming fight against Belzat El-Makan, also at UFC Qatar. Despite rumors suggesting Ilia could return in January, insiders claim that's unlikely, since the Topuria brothers rarely hold training camps at the same time. Adding to the discussion, Charles Oliveira, Topuria's most recent opponent, recently admitted that standing in boxing range with Ilia was a mistake. Oliveira praised Topuria's striking power and precision, acknowledging just how dangerous he is when opponents engage him head-on. With tensions boiling and both camps trading words, the potential clash between Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria is quickly becoming one of the most anticipated matchups in the UFC. Whether it happens next year or later, one thing is certain: both fighters are ready to make a statement when the cage door closes. Move on to another news. Former UFC fighter and analyst Josh Thompson recently broke down the new eye poke rule changes being introduced after the chaos at UFC 321, offering a clear explanation of what fighters and fans can expect going forward. According to Thompson, athletic commissions are stepping in to make the sport safer and more consistent, especially after repeated incidents have disrupted major bouts. Under the updated rules, fighters will receive an immediate warning the moment a referee notices their hand is open and fingers are extended toward an opponent's face. After that warning, any eye poke results in an automatic point deduction, with no exceptions or debates about intent. A second eye poke means another point lost, regardless of whether it was accidental or not. Thompson emphasized that the UFC and commissions know this will take some getting used to, as fighters will need time to adjust their striking and parrying techniques. However, he believes the system will settle once athletes adapt to keeping their hands closed more consistently. Josh also pointed out that nearly 95 to 98% of all eye pokes come from the same small group of fighters, meaning a few habitual offenders are responsible for most of the problem. Rather than focusing on glove redesigns, which officials are reportedly not considering, this rule set aims to change fighter behavior directly through strict enforcement. He further explained that the goal is to make the rule automatic and objective, removing the gray area between intentional and unintentional fouls. A foul is a foul, Thompson said. Once a hard warning is given, if a poke happens, it's a point, no matter what. This change takes the decision out of the referee's hands and ensures consistency across all fights. Thompson and other analysts believe the new approach could finally bring accountability to a long-standing issue that has affected countless fighters over the years. He highlighted that it's not just about fairness, but also about fighter safety. Eye pokes have led to serious injuries, fight cancellations, and controversial results, including in recent high-profile title bouts. The message from commissions and referees is clear: fewer warnings, more enforcement. If implemented properly, this could mark a major step forward in MMA officiating. What do you think, MMA fans? Should eye pokes be punished immediately, or is there still room for leniency? Share your thoughts below. Move on to another news. It looks like Justin Gaethje is dead serious about his retirement plans if he's passed over for the next lightweight title opportunity. In a recent interview, Gaethje's longtime manager Ali Abdelaziz made it clear that the highlight intends to keep his word. If the UFC gives the next title shot to Paddy Pimblett or anyone else ahead of him, he'll walk away from the sport for good. Ali spoke passionately about Gaethje's position, emphasizing that Justin has earned his place at the top through years of high-level competition and thrilling performances. "I'm telling you this just in case. Justin never breaks his word," Abdelaziz said. "If he gets jumped by Paddy, he will retire and never fight again in the UFC. I truly believe that." Gaethje's stance isn't just talk. He's been vocal for months about wanting one last run at the belt before calling it a career. career. After an incredible knockout win over Dustin Poirier and a string of legendary fights, many fans believe he's done enough to deserve a title shot against Islam Makhachev or whoever holds the lightweight crown next. The discussion around Paddy Pimblett possibly leapfrogging the rankings has sparked outrage among both fighters and fans. Critics argue that while Pimblett is an entertaining personality and rising star, his resume doesn't come close to Gaethje's accomplishments. Paddy's last few fights were against unranked opponents, and most analysts agree that a title opportunity would be premature at this stage of his career. Abdelaziz doubled down on that point, calling the idea of Pimblett getting a title shot before Gaethje completely unfair. He reiterated that Justin's contributions to the sport, from delivering Fight of the Year performances to consistently facing elite opponents, have earned him that respect. Justin Gaethje is a warrior, Ali said. He's done everything the right way. If the UFC skips him now, it'll be an insult to the sport. With the lightweight division heating up, fans are eagerly waiting to see how the UFC handles this situation. Will Gaethje finally get his long-awaited title shot, or will politics and popularity take over matchmaking? What do you think? Does Justin Gaethje deserve the next title shot, or should Paddy Pimblett get his chance first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Move on to another news. During the recent Apex card broadcast, Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping shared their reactions to the shocking Ante Delija incident, which has quickly become one of the most talked about moments in MMA following UFC 321. Both analysts agreed they had never seen anything quite like it in all their years covering the sport. "I've never seen anything like this in all the time I've been involved in mixed martial arts," said Bisping, visibly stunned. "It was definitely a first." Cormier echoed that sentiment, calling the situation crazy, and emphasizing that it's something the MMA community won't stop discussing anytime soon. The conversation soon turned toward Tom Aspinall, as Delija is one of his main training partners. Bisping noted that fans were already drawing connections between the two situations, even though the incidents are unrelated. "People are going to talk," he said, "but it's not directly related, it's just fate, really. Sometimes these things happen in the fight game, and you can't explain them." Cormier added that while speculation is natural, fighters know the risks every time they step into the cage. "You can't control these things," he explained. "It's part of the sport. You can prepare for everything, except moments like this." Reports indicate that Tom Aspinall is still dealing with vision issues following his own controversial eye incident, adding to the emotional weight surrounding Delija's situation. Bisping expressed concern, mentioning, "Tom apparently still can't see properly. That's serious. That's not something you just walk off." Meanwhile, the fight involving Delija's opponent, Waldo Cortez Acosta, ended in stunning fashion. Despite the chaos, Waldo continued the bout and secured a knockout victory, a moment that left both Cormier and Bisping speechless. "He carried on, and then he knocked him out, right there," Cormier recalled. "That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen." Both analysts agreed that incidents like these highlight the unpredictable nature of MMA and the fine line fighters walk between victory and injury. The Delija situation will likely fuel ongoing discussions about fighter safety, officiating, and how the sport can prevent similar moments in the future. In the end, Bisping summed it up best: "This sport is as real as it gets, and sometimes, it's as unpredictable as it gets too."